Since the news broke that The Mandalorian, the Disney Plus series set in the Star Wars universe, has been successful enough to prompt Disney to order a second season, there has been a great deal of speculation on what that new season might include. Here are my thoughts on the subject. It's not improbable that the new season will introduce a recurring villain, perhaps a mercenary, whom we might call the Handyman, for his penchant for taking care of unpleasant jobs. By the end of the season, the Handyman will undoubtedly have some face-to-face encounter with a hero. Before this event occurs, he will probably want to scan the Mandalorian to find out exactly what weapons he may be carrying. Of course, to do so in person would carry a great deal of risk, so he might send an assistant to do it for him. That is, send a man to scan the Mandalorian. Now, in the Star Wars universe, there's no guarantee that the assistant would even be human. Indeed, if his assistant turned out to be a large, sedentary mammal with a taste for bamboo, we might see the Handyman demand a panda scan the Mandalorian. In reality, though, pandas don't do much, so we might hypothesize the creation of an army of super pandas who could perform this task, developed by and named after that famous business tycoon of the Star Wars universe, Lando Calrissian, in which case we would see the Handyman demand a Lando panda scan the Mandalorian. Or even if he weren't particular which member of this army performed the job, he could demand a random Lando panda scan the Mandalorian. You might of course think it silly to hire a panda army, super or otherwise, and so might whoever is employing the Handyman, who would undoubtedly offer him some pretty harsh criticism as a result. After which we would presumably see the reprimanded Handyman demand a random Lando panda scan the Mandalorian. Now, if the Handyman has any sense at all, he could realize it's safer to scan not the Mandalorian himself, but rather his transport, from a distance. But then the Mandalorian might anticipate this action and do something stealthy, like borrowing a vehicle from someone else, say Marty McFly, and hiring a chauffeur to operate it, and using that to create a diversion. In that case, we would expect to see the reprimanded Handyman demand a random Lando panda scan the Mandalorian's Mandalorian. Or maybe not.